Hey, what's happening? It's your dude, the merciless Reese L. Black. Welcome back to the booth. Today I wanted to go ahead and touch on a never-ending topic. It's funny because I just did a video about what 3 topics I think that panels should pretty much stay, just give up on, especially when it comes to men running panels. And this one still comes up. Single mothers. Yeah, the single mothers. But I have to say this, dude. I know we kind of have like this riff, this discussion, this debate on whose fault is it? Once you find a skincare regimen that actually works and you stick to it, I'm telling you, you're going to end up getting the results that you've been looking for. Right here, you have the wash that I use daily, and I'll also have the scrub. So if you're interested in getting those same good results, please, in the description down below, make sure you hit the link. It's going to launch you to the T.H. Hanley website, and I guarantee you'll have a good evening. Like, obviously, you're the woman. Why weren't you on birth control? Why didn't have them put on a condom? Or why didn't you just keep your legs closed, right? And now you gave birth to his child. You knew he didn't want to be with you. You knew he didn't want to marry you. You knew if it was probably just a fling. You probably just had some self-esteem issue where you just wanted to give birth to a being that will give you unconditional love because you know no man would ever never love you because you have daddy issues, whatever the case is. You knew that if he shoots the club up, you're going to get pregnant, and there was nothing about this man that says, oh, he's going to be a committed father. We know that, right? But let's talk to the men for a second here. Most of us who have a lot of homeboys or who have a crew, we know a guy who has multiple baby mamas. This was just kind of sad up on our part as men, right? We know athletes and rappers who have multiple baby mamas. And it's amazing because we're in this space where we must hold women accountable. Women must hold themselves accountable. But men, we don't exactly fire shots at the dudes who we deem as the impregnator. We don't. We didn't say anything about Sean Kemp when he had hella kids. We didn't say anything about Old Dirty Bastard when he made a whole bunch of baby mamas. Probably because we're just like, hey, lady, if you didn't want to get pregnant, you should wear protection, right? Right. But we still have this one guy who's doing all the impregnating. And yes, we do have women out there who are just basically just having kids with just anybody. That's their choice, right? But the thing is, you guys aren't going to date them, so we know that. But I think what's actually, congesting the topic is because we have pretty much hit an all-time high of now there's a lot of single mothers out there, right? But we also have men who fathered these children and they're not around. And so the question is this: if women hold themselves accountable about having babies with these no good men, then what? They still have the baby, right? But there's nothing that the men can do about the men out there who are shooting these clubs up. Nothing at all. I haven't really seen one panel with a bunch of men talking about we need to do something do something about these dudes who keep on knocking all these women up. We really don't see it, because we almost look at it as like, hey, this is basically something that maybe this is what men do. Maybe this is something about nature. I mean, I didn't go around knocking anybody up. Let's take Nick Cannon. He's letting the world know he wants babies, so he's basically picking women that he wants to have children with. They have his kids. He cuts a check, obviously, and that's that, because he can't be a full-time daddy to all of those babies. He can't. Just like DMX. DMX said he had a great relationship with all of his kids, rest in peace. But do we really know that? Everybody says they have a great relationship. But then again, it's like, how many of these babies are you helping out with their homework and stuff like that? How many recitals? How many practices? How many games? How many times are you there to wipe? How many of these kids are you dressing up for? And especially if you're an athlete or an entertainer, you barely around because you got to work. You got movies, you got music, you basketball, football, you got practice, you got away games. Hell, it's tough. But really, it's almost impossible for holding these men accountable as men. Why? Because simply men don't care. I'm not knocking her up. I'm not running around doing anything like that. But then again, it's interesting how men have a tendency to get on the women for getting knocked up. It's interesting because this is what's actually funny about the black dating relationship space. We spend a whole lot of time talking about things that we have no control over. You have no control over who gets knocked up. You have no control over who's doing the knocking. We don't. So it really cracks me up how we still have these panels. We still have these discussions about the single moms, the single mom that hit the wall, the damaged goods, right? We literally have men out there who have a bunch of kids, who have multiple baby mamas. They do, right? But the thing is, the microscope is never on them. And it's never looking like a bad thing, probably because it's almost as if a man with multiple children, a man with multiple baby mamas, still can seem beneficial to the next woman, right? Okay, Future, multi-millionaire, superstar entertainer, right? Rapper. Matter of fact, I believe he just sold his catalog not too long ago for about 60 M's. So when you look at that, no one cares about how many babies he got. Any woman that pretty much has everything to gain and nothing to lose will look at that and be like, well, with that much bag, I'll have this baby too. But then again, what kind of woman is thinking like that, right? We have a whole lot of women that like to come on social media. And to me, that's red flag number one, when you come on social media crying about this other dude not feeling you, who is the child's father, because clearly, I'm sure there were flags of irresponsibility that were there prior to him shooting the club up, right? But it almost seems as if like these women were already troubled in the head to begin with. You really don't see a bunch of dudes getting on, TikTok talking about like, you know what? Hey, y'all, I'm telling y'all need to slow y'all roll. Y'all need to stop knocking up these chicks, man. Y'all, because I'm telling you, I got 13 kids and they all turned them papers on me, man. Like, y'all don't want this drama. Keep it in your pants or use protection. Don't be like me. You don't really catch a bunch of dudes doing all of that because it's nonsense. Because dudes know it just sounds stupid. And I know when you look at it on the other women's ends, it's like, you want somebody to feel sorry for you because you had a baby with a man that didn't want you, didn't want to marry you, who pretty much just smashed and left. I was like, I'm sure there were red flags about this guy, and I'm sure you got homegirls that told you about this guy, that there was nothing great about him. So why'd you do it? And then RN on the guy, it's just like, really? You went raw in her? If you did, look, old school elder, the old school will always say, if you're not protecting yourself, then you're trying to get pregnant. Same thing with the men. If you're going in raw dogging, obviously you're trying to knock her up. And there are some sick men out there that try, I don't want to call them sick, but there are some men out there that actually think like that. If I drop on in her, bring her value down, ain't no dude really going to want to wife her up, right? Or at least the man that she wants is not going to wife her up, right? Another, guy might come along and be like, okay, it's all good. I like kids, right? And then next thing you know, well, let me go ahead and drop one in her. And then there's girls out there that will still associate with this dude. It happens. But the thing is this, there's barely any conversations on these men that go around knocking up women. I know it's funny, if men really wanted to make a law, and I'm talking about big government, big state, if they really wanted to make a law on basically penalizing men for knocking up women, not just with the whole child support thing, but pretty much just incarcerating you just for knocking up a girl, I bet you a whole lot of pregnancies would go down. I bet you it would. But the thing is this, we need to just really leave that aspect alone. It's a done deal. We literally have too many platforms talking about lanes that you don't even want to deal with. It's like, look, we need to concentrate on what you like, and that's it. We complain about what we don't like, and it's interesting because that gets the majority of the views, right? But we never talk about what we like. We talk about how women ain't this and black men ain't that, black women ain't this. It's this constant battle that kind of needs to end, right? And the whole baby moms thing is kind of a dead horse now. Look, we get it. Y'all put the single mothers on the chopping block. And it's funny because these single mothers, because they still get it in. They still attract men. And the thing is, men who don't have any children, who state that they are never going to ever date or commit to a single parent mother, almost get mad at the men that ended up wifing up that woman. He's happy. He's in a committed relationship. He's settled down. He's straight. He has his woman. Granted, yes, she had a baby with somebody else, but he's willing to take on that responsibility and play stepdad. Let him play stepdad. If y'all want to call him simp dad or whatever, let the man be a simp. I'm not only saying that because I'm married to single mother and I also have a child with her too. That's my wife. No, I'm not. That's not the reason why I'm saying this. I'm saying it because the man that has found his woman that he's feeling, where they actually correspond with each other emotionally, right? Where they have each other's soul intact. They love each other to death. They are straight. You shouldn't tell that man, why you wife up that girl knowing dang well she got a baby with somebody else? No, that's his business. Let him do him, right? It's at the point where there's way too much concentration on what men can't stand, to the point where it's like, all right, what do you like? Because apparently you're still on this panel talking, or you're still on this podcast talking. When are you going to talk about what you got that's dope? When are you going to talk about like, yo, I met this woman. I think this is it. I think this is the one. We don't have enough conversations like that. I wonder why. Is the game needed? Is self-improvement needed? I don't know. Is coaching needed? Who knows? But there's way too much talk about the negative, about the what we don't want. It's getting old now. It's getting old now. So can we go ahead and start talking about things that we actually do want, that we, about the people that we want to go for? And I get it. Some of y'all actually do go for what you like, but that person's whack. But that's a part of life. Dating is a lottery. You just got to keep on going until you find the one that's cool with you. But anyways, I just wanted to go ahead and throw that bit out there, and I'm out this piece. Good evening, Mr. Black.